Hey everyone, this is JoeBoy185 here, and I got some pretty good news today. If you don't know, the Tales of Berseria demo just recently released on the Japanese PlayStation Store. So if you want to go try that game out yourself to get your own personal, your own impressions of the game, feel free to go try it. Now is the best time to do so. And in short, if I want to give my own opinion, the game so far feels amazing. Now I can't say too much about the story, since a lot of the stories is in Japanese, since I can't understand Japanese. I can't tell you how quality that'll be. Really, to be honest, like to judge that, you'd actually need to beat the game straight up. And I just want to give my general impressions of what I noticed while I was playing the game. So this is just, one of my first impressions video ever, actually. So for starters, what's actually in the demo? Well, there's two modes in the demo. One is the story mode, one is battle or gameplay mode. So the story mode is where you get to actually, you play a piece of the story in which the characters talk to each other. You see a scene or two, and you get to actually enjoy some of the skits where you get to see the characters, you get to see a bit of each character's character, their personality or whatever. Now, I can't really speak too much on this since I don't speak Japanese, I'm gonna have to wait until the translations come back for some of that. I'm actually excited to see the translation for that, if anyone actually does translate it. What I spent the most time on is the gameplay portion of this demo, and that's what that's exactly what I'm about to get into, and that's where most of my impressions come from. All the playable characters start off on level 25. You can't gain experience or anything like that. That's just the level they set for this demo. Since a lot of people like to focus on Zesteria and its flaws, since it was the most recent Tales game, let's look at all the improvements Berseria made over Zesteria. First off, there's no fusing. Yes, I know that's like the main mechanic of Zesteria, but that really also is a flaw to it. Well, at least the way they handled it. It just did not handle that system correctly. I know I like to bash on the fusing a lot because I really didn't enjoy it and how they applied it in the game. But yeah, Berseria not having that is a big plus for me already. The free running the camera. Now in this game, in most Tales games, you can only run around, running the line straight forward and backwards, and you have to hold on to L2 to run freely around the field. Well, this game is more like Star Ocean in the fact that once you just you could just actually do free run from the get-go, just run around the map wherever you want to. And also the camera system. Yes, the camera is improved. We don't have to deal with what we was dealing with in Zesteria. Now you can actually control the camera. Now I can see how, in some situations, the camera might get a little bad, but in this game you can actually just straight up control it and move the camera to another area of place. So that right there is a big improvement over Zesteria. Now the demo itself didn't really contain any there were no corridors. It was all big open fields, so you can't really tell what the camera is going to be like in closed corridors, but they're moving in the right direction. Next up is the 4 art buttons. Well, they kind of did away with the 1 art button, and, up, down, left, right on that art, circle. Up is the up circle is the art, left circle is the art, right circle, down circle, and neutral. That doesn't exist anymore. Now it's more you can actually use all 4 attack buttons: square, triangle, circle, and cross. You can use art. You can put arts on each of those buttons, and not only that, you could chain the arts on those buttons too. So if you hit square, do 1 art, you could put another art for the second square, another art for the third square press, another art for the 4th square, like that. And you could do the same thing for every other button too. Now this is a very convenient way to do art. I really like the way this feels. It makes the game really feel smooth. So if you find aerial-based monsters, you can put a whole bunch of moves designed to strike aerial-based monsters on triangle. If you focus on knocking down somebody, you can put a lot of those kind of knockdown arts on X. If you focus on damage and combo potential, you can put that all on square. So on and so forth. You can do whatever you want to. The other thing is the BG system, which is short for the blast gauge system. Now this is something that actually returned from Zesteria. They used it for things like blow blast and chain blast, certain mechanics and stuff that you could do in combos. Now I'm unsure if that exists in this game, but in this game, the only thing that consumes blast gauge so far is actually character switching. This is actually a very fun mechanic in the game. So now, in the middle of you doing a combo, if you have enough meter to do so, you can actually switch out into another character. They jump in and hit you and hit them in the mid combo, and you can continue combo with that character. So it kind of like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I believe you could fill up the blast gauge by doing attacks and all that, but I didn't really see it go up too much. It seems that you can only really fill up your blast gauge with something called, well, I'm gonna call it special actions. I don't know what the official name is, but for now, let's call it special actions. First off, before diving into the special actions, I want to talk about the soul system, which is like the main art mechanic in this game. The soul system is very similar to the SE system that Zesteria used, in which you'd have a set amount of numbers, like every character had 100 CC, SC, I mean, and you could do arts and movement, and it would take up like certain amounts of FC, but you always had a restriction to do 4 arts in a combo. Berseria is the same way in that, like it has to be 4 arts, no more, no less, unless you were like using character switching and such. Well, the soul system in this game too, but it seems that it makes the SC system more strategic. See, in this game and Berseria, you can actually steal souls from people, and that would give you more of the soul down there to do more art and chain together more skills. But enemies can also steal souls from you, which will limit you doing skills. And if you have about 3 of these souls, you can use these special actions I was talking about. Now, every character got their own special action. Like Velvet has her claw, Rokuro has his counter, Aizen has his burst shot, and Eleanor can launch people very high in the air. Now, I'm not really too sure what the other 2 characters do. It seemed like they do some sort of spell, like Lafayette, I believe that was his name in Modulo. I'm not too sure. I'm a bit rusty with the names, but I believe that's what they can do. It's like some spell of some sort. But the interesting thing about these special actions is that for every time you use a special action, it actually fills up a portion of your blast gauge. So I guess a part of the strategy is building up souls and using your special actions when you can inside of combos, so that you can fill up more blast gauge for you to get to your mystic art to wipe out enemies. Another thing that they have retained from Zesteria and Grace's the side steps and all that all still exists there. So you know, you can evade enemy attacks by dashing to the side or dashing away. You know, like that movement is still there. Even though you can free run, you can still sidestep. You can do both. Now, putting Tell the Berseria and Zesteria right next to each other, yeah, Berseria is an improvement over Zesteria. I recently made a video about can Tell the Berseria, like, you know, succeed, and now I'm confident in the fact that it can succeed, actually. At least when it comes to the gameplay for it. Now, the gameplay in Tell the Berseria so far, even though it's very fun, and I'm not gonna lie, I can get addicted. I got a little addicted to it at first. Even though it's very fun, it's not exactly original. You see, in Tales of Exilia, everyone had their own unique playstyle as well, and like their own system mechanics on their character. And Tales of the Graces actually had a style shift system in which every character had 2 fighting styles in general. But even though it's not original and is borrowing elements from both of those games, it certainly still is fun. I can't deny that. I think the only downgrade from this game that I see from Zesteria is the transitions to when you fight people. You see, in Tales of Zesteria, when you fight people on the map, you fight right then and there on the field. I believe Star Ocean does the same thing. Tales of Berseria, it went back to how the old Tales games did it. Now, every time you run into a fight, the battle moves to an instance, and you fight the enemies there instead of right there on the field, which is a downgrade from this area. But to be honest, it's not really that big of a flaw. It's not really a flaw like that. I can only see someone not liking that a lot, like just to be nitpicky about the game. Graphics, yes, could leave more to be desired. This is something we've seen before. Tales of Exilia and Tales of Zesteria, in this game, they all pretty much look the same. and I do one day want to see Tell's games use the full power of the PS4. But sadly, that day isn't today. It's not with Berseria. Most likely the next one. Maybe the next Tell's game will be like that. Overall, the Tell the Berseria demo was a very fun experience. I really enjoyed it. I spent about an hour and a half on it, just messing around with the battles and playing all the characters and doing the arts and whatnot, trying to come up with my own combos and stuff. And I had a lot of fun with it. A lot more fun that I had with Zesteria in the while that I played it. Even though I beat Zesteria straight up, it wasn't as fun. But I could see this game is very promising, and I'm actually really excited to play it. Not when it comes out in Japan, but the American release. So yeah, that's my impressions for Tell the Berseria thus far. And if you enjoyed this video, please remember you leave a like. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.